Well, if you say it's mandatory, kind of impossible at the same time, what are...
Yeah, I think it is. I think the previous slide said it's mandatory, but I think it's also impossible to do by yourself. And that's where we get to this Sherpa metaphor that we've created. And you're probably aware of what a Sherpa is for any number of reasons. You probably think of it as a job description, right? A job that involves helping people get to the top of the world's highest peaks, carrying their loads, charting safe courses, and it sort of is that. But what a Sherpa actually is, where the word comes from, as you can see on the slide, is it's actually an ethnicity. It's a genetic modification of a group of people who've lived in the high Himalaya for thousands of years, above 10,000 feet, and has left them able to breathe at the 30,000-foot summit of Everest and the other world's highest peaks. They don't need supplemental oxygen to get to the top of these mountains, but the rest of us do. And I would assert that when you think about how you, with your business, want to address that mountain that is digital media, and you think about who that Sherpa might be that's going to help try to get you there successfully, picking the right one is a really critical choice for you to make. There are lots and lots and lots of people out there who will tell you that they can help you with this. And some of them can, but the question that I would ask is that Sherpa, is he or she herself, are they native to those peaks themselves? And so without boring you horribly to tears, just a little background on us in terms of what that means to me. I was raised in the Silicon Valley in California in the 1970s and 80s. My dad founded a software company. My mom was the first woman, I think, asterisk, in the state of New York to get a master's in computer science. I wrote my first software program when I was 12. It was a basic program on an IBM PC Junior. Taught my sister how to do multiplication tables. Yes, I am a geek. I worked at AOL for 13 years, the last 3 of which I was running their homepages business. So if between 2007 and 2010 you ever typed www.aol.com into a browser, everything you saw was my team's problem in 7 countries around the world. I left that and ran digital, mobile, and social for a TV company that had TV stations all around the country, which is where the 3 of us worked together most recently. My partners in crime that you'll hear from, Troy Parkins, who will talk a lot about content and storytelling, has a master's degree in journalism from Stanford. He helped put the first health area on the internet in 1996. He helped lead social media strategy for the National Institutes of Health. He has a deep background in storytelling. He was also a scientist, which is where he got all his health stuff. But then he had a fascinating career turn that I still think is bizarre. But after leaving AOL, he opened a chain of donut shops in Virginia. And he was a small business owner. And he lived your lives. And he will apply that perspective to how you can go about thinking about telling stories. Christina Rice, who you'll also hear from, is going to start by showing you a slide of the incredible complexity of what the internet looks like today in terms of directories and search engines and social medias and all the different places you have to be. She's worked for pretty much every company on that slide. Over the course of the last 20 years, deeply in the directory space, working at places like YP and Shop Local and AOL Local. She's worked with huge national agencies on advertising campaigns for companies like General Motors and P&G, but then did that same tour with us for the last 4 years, working with TV stations in medium-sized markets around the country and small and medium-sized businesses, and how do we apply all this digital stuff to their needs? But then what also makes me really excited to be partnered with you is, I don't know if you all in the room realize it, but Channel 3000, Channel 3, Morgan Murphy Media is a huge digital media success. The adoption of their website, its penetration of this market, the adoption of their mobile apps, their social media is almost unprecedented from what I've seen in years of working in the TV business. They're really, really good at it, but it's taken you, what, 14 years, I think I've heard, to get there?
Right, we launched in 1998, and it's been a commitment.
Years.
Yeah, 16 years.
I'm an engineer. I can run that. My guess is most of you guys probably don't have 16 years to take to get to the point where you guys are. And then interestingly, you also probably don't realize this, but we talked a bit about Google+. Michelle here is an absolute rock star in the social media world. For an individual human being to have 421,000 followers on anything is absurd. So clearly you've made a significant investment personally in this, and I think you said that's part of why you ended up in Madison?
Well, I'll tell you a secret. I was actually recruited here. I think because my boss found me on Google Plus.
There you go.
Google.
There you go.
But Google, we use Google every day, and in our everyday lives. And my grandma understands YouTube, so that's one reason why I committed to Google Plus.
Google loves and trusts Google. Now,
Obviously, most of you realize not every business out there has the same strategic imperative around digital media that a TV station does. And most of you probably don't have the same resources that they do. So what we're going to do now is shift a little bit and let Christina and Troy talk to you about what does this mean for your businesses, for real businesses in the real world rather than for ours. But we'll turn it over to them.